Hello and welcome to Know Thy Shelves. I'm Michelle.
I'm Rachel.
Welcome back. Sorry we're a day late. That's my fault. Bit sick. Haven't read anything cool or anything in general, so I'm gonna let Rachel take it.
So, I've read two other books. One was called Wolf's Reign,
Okay.
which was a werewolf romance, but there's also other shifters, and it was like a 3. It was just middle of the road.
I gotcha.
And then
That happens.
the other one was A Head Full of Ghosts, which I actually read last week, but we were talking about Children's Book Week, so...
Oh, gotcha. Hey, and enough to mention it?
Yeah, that one was really good. It was, I believe I gave it a 4. It might have been a 5.
Okay,
But-
so good enough for Rachel, okay. That's a plus. And you said you had some bookish news.
Yes.
Okay.
So this week is National Library Week.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So if you don't have a library card, go get a library card.
It's free. Get a
It's
library
free.
fucking card. Like, don't you want to read? No.
It doesn't cost anything. And it supports libraries, which we need.
Of course. Yes. No, I love that. I had no idea. Which that's really cool.
Yeah.
Is that why you have your library shirt on?
Yes, this is why I have my library shirt on.
Support your local library. I have a library card. That's enough. That's cool. I used to go to the library all the time when I was in. I mean, I lived like a block from
Yeah,
it.
you were walking distance from the library.
I know. I'm like, going to the library. Okay, fine. So yes, I love that part of, being in not a small town, but a medium-sized town.
Yeah.
And living close to a library was awesome.
Well, we only have like 2 functioning libraries at this point, where we used to have like 5 or 6.
I was
feel
going to
like.
say, I think we had quite a few. The one downtown is just more decorative.
It holds like genealogy.
Yeah,
stuff.
like it's more of like historical books, which is fine, and the building looks amazing, but I just wish it was more modern.
Yeah.
Like I like the old historical look, but at the same time, if it's not anything that you want to go in and read or get, it's like, cool. This is just a library for research.
Yeah.
Kind of like Ball State's library, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you have anything else before we get right in?
Nope.
Okay.
Just wanted to mention about the libraries. Support your
Libraries.
local libraries.
I agree 110%. I love it. Okay. So this book, this week, we're talking about Curse Corvus?
I'm not sure.
Corvus? It's Latin. I'm terrible with the English, and you're trying to throw Latin at me? Jesus Christ.
I try not to read Latin.
I'm sorry. It's also by Alex Ebenstein?
Eberston?
Ebenstein?
Something like that.
We're going with that. Sorry. We butchered names here. You should know this already. I think this is more like an independent author. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't really kind of research that, but it's more of a independent, local-ish. He's from Michigan, so it's kind of local. We're from Indiana. Our state's touch.
I was trying to see who published this or if it was completely...
Oh, completely.
yeah.
I'm not sure.
I got it at Scarelastic, which was
Oh,
a
okay.
horror-themed, like, book fair, but you got to meet a bunch of authors.
Authors.
and stuff.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. So did you meet him, or was it
Yes.
just on the table? Okay.
This one is actually signed.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. I love that. Beware the Raven. Did he draw like a raven? Because that's cool too.
No, it's half illustrated.
It is half illustrated. So, in the Kindle version, there are some illustrated pages. I saw that, like, those.
Yeah.
Like, in the beginning of each chapter, there's, like, birds flying across. That was not in the Kindle version, so I'm upset by that. It's fine, though. I did like the surprise picture when I first found it. I was like, oh, that's cool! Like, didn't realize that, so that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. Do you want to go into the book, or... I had some cool Tabit facts from it, but we can go over them later if you want.
We can do facts now.
So I thought it was really interesting, and his acknowledgement is in the back of the book, actually.
Yes.
So I read that, because, I don't know, I just wasn't
You
done
wanted to-
wasn't done reading it. It's a short read. It's only like 140 pages, I think, 130.
Yeah.
but it's a short read, so he talked about Lake Michigan, and since we're so close, I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I thought it was interesting. The opening of the book is based on a true story that happened to his sister and his sister's best friend, who's also, his sister's name starts with an L, and the friend's name starts with an M. So I thought that was kind of interesting, just because, I don't know why I thought that was interesting. The L for Lydia.
Yeah, well, his characters, our main characters, are Lindsay and Val.
Right. And his sister's name started with an L. So I thought that was really, really cool. And I'm like, oh, dang. Like, based on, obviously, the whole horror part is not true.
Yeah.
But
maybe. It might be true.
Maybe. Just the opening beginning of them finding all the stuff, which we'll get to in a sec, was, really cool. I'm like, oh, dang. Like, that's a great author. Taking something from real life to create it into his own masterpiece.
Yeah. I
really liked that. I liked that I caught a lot of the foreshadowing in this book. I felt really proud of myself because that's not something I usually pick up on. So I was like, anyways. And yeah, that's only, other than the part of the book is Latin for raven, the one that we can't pronounce, Corvus.
Yeah.
Which is Latin for raven. So that was pretty cool. Alright, that's all I have. Okay, sorry. I was just thinking that was so cool, the acknowledgement part and how he tied that into fiction. So I thought that was really neat.
It's good to take some weird shit that happens and then make it into a story.
Yes. Some weird, I don't know what I would do. Anyways.
I would have left. But,
that's not a good story.
No, but
it's not a good story. Alright, well, let's get into characters and then go into it.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's only 3 main characters if you don't include the cat, which is minor. His name is Patch, by the way. I think he's a tabby from the description. But you got Lindsay, which is the main character and the only point of view in the book.
Yes.
And sometimes is referred to as Linz.
Yeah.
I don't like
nicknames.
I don't like that type of nickname. It's just not, at that point, just say Lindsay.
Yeah.
Or Linz. I don't know. Anyways. Then you got Valerie, which is her best friend, which is Val. Which is that's a nice, better name. And then you have Bobby, which is Val's boyfriend.
Kind of.
Yeah.
He's on again, off again.
Yeah, flavor of the month? Year? Because they've been together? I don't know. Anyways. Bobby. Like we said, it takes place in Michigan, up by the Michigan Lakes, which I know the detective is from Grand Rapids, which I've been to, which is kind of like, Michigan's just cooler than Indiana in every way. I'm sorry.
Most every place is cooler than Indiana.
I know. It feels and looks like Indiana, but everyone's so much cooler and nicer. I'm not sure if that has to do with the 420 aspect of it, but they are just so much nicer. And I consider that one of the not major cities, but it is a big city, kind of like Indy or a suburb of Indy.
Yeah.
So we're setting the scene. Do you want to go with how the book opens?
So the book opens with Lindsay and Val going on a hike. Yeah, that's chapter 1.
Yes, it is. Okay. Don't question yourself. Yes, that's chapter 1. It just gets right into it, okay?
Yeah. So while they're hiking, they're talking about how they both hate their jobs, how Bobby's kind of
yeah.
And then they come across a bunch of dead birds.
Like a bunch. I was actually disappointed with the first illustration in this book because it kind of goes into the fact where they find these whole bunch of just dead birds. And then they find the next part, which is the bundle of dead bird.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the wedding dress. But the illustration in the book just made me seem like when she opened the bundle, Val did, it glitter bomb dead birds. And that's not how it was. I was so upset. I'm like, okay. Because I kind of flipped to the next page, not meaning to. And I'm like, glitter bomb dead birds. That's not how it is. And I was like, and I even put it in my notes, glitter bomb, dead birds. And I'm like, wait, that's not totally accurate.
No.
But it would have been funny. I mean, I feel like it would have probably added more.
Just all of a sudden, birds.
Like surprise birds. Personal opinion. Okay, personal. Anyways.
Come on. Okay, and then they go, okay, this is weird. Should we turn around? This point, I would have been, fuck yes.
Or
let's go.
Or who do they call? They're like, do we call 911? Do we call the park ranger? Do we call whatever the ranger guy is that deals with nature?
National Park Ranger?
Yes, that thing. So they're like, who do we call? And I'm like, Ghostbusters. That's all I can think of when they kept saying that. Who do we call? Do we call Ghostbusters? Sorry.
Yeah, because you need it, because you're getting cursed.
Pretty much. It's
Yeah.
accurate, right? But no, they did not call anyone.
No.
Spoiler alert.
Instead, they continue on their path to go around and circle back to the car.
Yeah, which is fucking nuts. Okay, so... Anyways, yes. They find all these dead birds, and then where do they go? They go further into it, because obviously you can't turn back at this point. And that's when they find the wedding dress with the bundle of the dead bird. And I think Lindsay is kind of like, let's get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, this is something not right. But her friend Val kind of, touches the bundle just to kind of see what it is. And you don't really realize that Val actually touched what's in there until later on, because it's important-ish.
Yeah.
To the kind of the curse itself. And so, Val kind of Lindsay kind of no, get the fuck away, and knocks Val down to the ground. And there's a foreshadowing about her hand hurting.
Mm-hmm.
Because she maybe fell on it wrong. Not the case.
Because Lindsay thinks that she saw the bird move too.
Yes, that's the huge part. It's eyes looked at her, the milky dead eyes of a dead raven. I'm like, the fuck? Okay. That's kind of creepy. I'd get the fuck out. So they decided
I wouldn't even got to this point. I would have saw dead birds. I'm out.
See, you're...
I'm out. We ain't messing with this.
You're who I want to be with in a fucking horror film, okay? Because we would be like, oh yeah, car or shed full of fucking razor blades. Yep, let's go to the car. Not to the razor blade fucking cavern of horror.
Death.
Like that one damn commercial. They're like, yeah, we got this. And the fucking serial killer's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Makes my job easier, it's fun.
Yeah. I do yell at ghosts though, so that might not be the best for you.
I don't have any ghost senses, so I'm good. I don't have any sixth sense at all.
Well, there's a ghost that lives in this house. His name is Kevin. And he gets yelled at.
Well, as long as he doesn't harm you, that's fine, right?
Well,
ghosts can coexist.
Yeah, well, he likes to throw things every once in a while. That's how he gets yelled at.
Okay, fair enough. That's not cool. Not cool. Okay, got it. So I didn't really kind of understand. So after this whole thing, and they're I would be scared shitless. I feel like Lindsay, the main character, is what the fuck's going on? But they go the longer way around, so they don't have to go back the way they came. And I'm like, no.
I would
have ran
out, done. I'm done.
That really just confused me. I'm like, it's a trail, so I get walking around, but then they split off to go the longer way back, so they don't have to go back that way. And I'm like, hell no, I'd be gone. And this is something Val and Lindsay do, kind of as a reconnect, hike and do the trails around the lakes.
Yeah,
it's very known apparently. So they kind of just leave because they're freaked out. And then this is where Val kind of goes on radio silence.
Yes. She supposedly gets sick.
Sick. Yes. She does.
Maybe.
It could be part of the curse itself, but yes. So Lindsay's like, okay, she's not calling, she's not texting me back, she's called into work, like, where the fuck is this bitch, you know?
Yeah.
Like, best friends, they don't go, like, a day without talking, so they're like, she's like, okay, so she goes to her house, and Val's like, oh, hey, what's up, man? Like, you're a horrible friend! Like, come on. But then she says that she felt like she fucking died, but she's better now.
Yeah, but, okay, so this is foreshadowing to the end of the book, but what happens to Lindsay at the end, because you kind of see the process.
Right.
So, I don't think she was actually sick. I think she just, like, blacked out and she just was gone for 2 days.
I mean, that could be. Because it kind of talks about how, like, she doesn't remember calling into work. She doesn't remember, like, texting anyone. I guess she had text Lindsay that she was fine or some shit. And then that was it. No other communication. And then she called into work. And she's like, yeah, I don't remember any of that. It's like, a little disconcerting, okay? Yeah. Just saying. So Lindsay goes over and Val's like, so yeah, I almost died. I was sick. Cool beans. You want to get a tattoo?
Yeah. Like, basically, she got, I got a tattoo idea.
Yeah, and apparently that's their thing, too. They don't get tattoos without each other. So Lindsay already had one, like, locked and loaded. And Val's, like, being indecisive. And she's like, finally, I'm going to do it. Cool. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. And that's red flag number 1.
Yeah.
But, so nothing really happens besides that when they go get the tattoos, right?
Yeah. Well, Val doesn't want Lindsay to see the tattoo to the point where she doesn't even let her go back with her. Right,
which is fucking nuts. Because, Lindsay got kind of like a quote. It was a phrase her mom had wrote. So it's very personal for her. And I feel like she got it, like, forearm area.
Maybe.
I don't remember. It's not really important. I mean, it is. I mean, she got a tattoo that really meant something for her. But for the storyline, her tattoo is not important. Val's tattoo, on the other hand, took 3 fucking hours, which is gruesome.
After work, too.
Yeah.
They went in the evening.
Yeah. Yeah. And, oh my god, I forgot to mention that Val just haven't quit her job.
But you don't know that yet, do you?
I think you do when she comes over. She's like, yeah, I quit my job.
Because I think that was after the tattoo. Like, they get the tattoo, she sees what it is, and then...
Okay, you're right.
Because Lindsay's getting weird vibes from Val.
Yes. Which, granted, yes, very weird vibes. So, they go to the tattoo artist, and the tattoo artist kind of made some, like, oh yeah, it's not really Val's style, but it's gonna look fucking cool because I drew it. Yeah. And I'm like, alright. So 3 hours is a pretty long tattoo. I have a lot of tattoos, so that's a lot, especially since it was on her, like, chest/sternum, kind of.
Yeah.
Which, that, I couldn't, I didn't do that. I could not sit for 3 hours doing a chest tattoo. And I have a chest tattoo. I had to break that shit up. Anyways, beside the point, sorry. Do you want to say what the tattoo is?
So, her tattoo is of the dead raven.
Yes. Fucking dead raven.
Coming out of her chest, pretty much.
I fucking called it. I knew it. I was like, yes! Like, fucking... Like, anyways, so I called that in my head. I was like, it's gonna be some kind of fucking bird. I didn't realize she was gonna get it, like, coming out of her chest. And of course it's the dead raven, so the eyes are, like, milky white, kind of grotesque.
A dead raven as a chest piece is not where it's at.
No.
I'm just saying. You have a raven tattoo.
I do have a raven tattoo.
Should I be worried?
It's still alive, thank you. It's not milky, he's dead or some shit.
You didn't touch no dead birds.
I did not touch no dead birds, okay? I ain't having that shit. So yeah. So Val gets that fucking tattoo, and Lindsay kind of just, like, fucking runs from the tattoo place because, again, she thinks the eye is looking at her, and it's a tattoo. So, like, to think that, like, the eye's just, like, looking at you, that's fucking creep.
Yeah.
That is creep, to be honest with you. Like, yeah, I would not. So she leaves. She's like, no, I gotta go. I can't deal with this shit.
Like, I'm out.
Because, like, the first thing that Lindsay thinks of is, like, is that fucking dead raven bird.
Yeah.
Like, the one in the bundle that Val that Val touched, but Lindsay doesn't know that yet.
Yeah.
Ugh. Anyways. So, I don't have when... So after this is when Val kind of was like, yeah, I quit my job. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Val's like... Or Lindsay's like...
Because Lindsay takes the day off because of some reason.
She can't mentally handle it.
Yeah.
Like, she's having a mental, like...
She called in, and she wanted to meet Val up at where they
the bar place, yeah.
And then Val drops the bomb that she quit her job.
Hey, I quit my job. Yeah, cool. And Bobby's there too, isn't he? That's the first time we actually like encounter Bobby with the main character.
Yes.
And he's kind of a dick.
Kind of, yes.
It's not said, but it was said in the book that he was verbally and emotionally abusive, but not confirmed physical at all.
Yeah.
At least from the book's standpoint and Lindsay's standpoint, because she doesn't know. Because, like, the book's all in Lindsay's point of view. So, Bobby's kind of like a dick to Lindsay, and he's like, oh, I'm leaving, you know, here's $10 for your coffee or some shit, you know, beer or whatever. And then Lindsay's like, being a good friend, she's like, no, he's a piece of shit, like, why are you still with him? And Val's like, don't worry, I got a plan. And I'm like,
she goes, I know he's a piece of shit. Pretty much. She's like, yeah, I know
he's a piece of shit, but, you know, whatever. So, that was,
and then Lindsay quits her job because Val convinces her that she can find something else. The pursuit of being happy.
Yes, on the pursuit of being happy, that she can find something else. And she's always hated her fucking job. It doesn't say what Valerie did before this.
I think she's some kind of lawyer. Or she works at a law office.
At a yeah. And then Lindsay worked at a retail store, which apparently her boss was kind of a butt. I don't know.
It's retail, so...
I mean, yeah. It's... Retail's just, you know... Oh, yeah, you worked in retail.
Yeah. Sure did.
Anyways. Anything else happens before we get to Bobby? Anything major?
Think so.
There's like talk in the news, kind of foreshadowing about a woman that washed up at the shore,
and then the dead guy behind.
The dead guy. Yeah, but that's closer towards the end of the story for the guy part. But yeah, the foreshadowing: a woman washed up on the lakes. Keep that in mind with the wedding dress. Okay, moving on. And so then on a Saturday morning, Val's like, "Hey, bitch, dead body help." Yeah, that is like literally a conversation.
She's like, meet me at our spot. we gotta take care of some shit.
And I'm like, this is what best friends are for. No, under different circumstances, you know, if you ever called me for a dead body, I will never say that. Never. Set a recording. I would not help you.
No.
Anyways. So Lindsay comes up and she's like, yo, what's up? I just love that dynamic. She's just like, what's wrong? And she's like, yeah, I killed Bobby. I just slit his
throat just because.
She's like, Val's like, he wasn't good for me. There are other ways.
Lindsay said, she's like, you could have just broke up with him? Like,
yeah. Of course, Lindsay's like, yeah, why didn't you just break up with him and not kill him? She's like, it's better this way. He didn't deserve to be with anybody. It's like, oh my god! Like, savage, great, but like, damn. So, she kind of half-built the little, like, hole, grave, there we go, that's the word I'm looking for. But then she has, you know, obviously she needs help moving the body to there. And, I mean, Val was just, like, creepy calm about all of this and was like, yeah, you know, the police will contact you, da-da-da-da. I'm like, damn. Like, whoa! Like, and then, of course, Lindsay's kind of freaked out because she's like, how does Val fucking know, like, what to do? I'm like,
and also, your best friend just killed your boyfriend. So she's like, what the fuck?
I know. Yeah, she was just like, what the, like, oh, what? And then Val's like, yeah, I got this covered, and, I'll text his phone every now and then, where are you, and I'm like,
she also tells her, she's like, you're not going to tell on me. Like, she very, like...
Yeah, matter of fact, you're not gonna, what was it? There was a specific line that I thought was really good. Basically saying, Lindsay didn't want to jeopardize her future or Val's future for someone like Bobby. And I'm like, oh my god. Like, he must have been a real piece of work.
Yeah, but she also did it just because she wanted to be happy, and he was in the way of that.
Yes, that's very true. So this kind of goes into kind of the curse setting. So what the curse kind of involves. Do you want to talk about that yet, or?
So, they bury Bobby.
Right.
And then Lindsay freaks out, and then for, like, a chapter, she's freaking out, not knowing what to do.
Right.
And then she's researching curses, because she knows something's up with Val. Mm-hmm. Like, this is not her normal...
Yeah, she was, kind of going about the search the wrong way. She was like, dead birds, and then bird kill, which is, like, a phenomenon. And so she wasn't really getting into, like, what happened. Man, this one was just, like, I love it, because it's, like, talks about the internet and doing research, and then it's, like, Reddit answer. And I'm like, fucking Reddit. Every question you have... And the answer is Reddit. So, like...
But she goes to Val before she goes to
yes.
Reddit.
Val kind of, like, tries to explain, like, what's going on with her. And Lindsay is just not open or not... I don't know, not open to the idea of anything supernatural based.
Yeah.
So she just, like, shuts her down. It's like, you're making fun of me. Like, you're not fucking being serious. And then, the conversation kind of just dwindles from there. And then she kind of does the research... And then she's like, okay, something's not right. So she's like, let me hear Val out.
Yeah.
Like, actually. And then Val kind of explains that she touched the dead bird and it gave her some sort of power. And she doesn't really, like, I think Val doesn't really understand the curse yet either. Because she kind of was like, yeah, I lied to you, but I didn't mean to, because that's what I thought in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, when she tried to explain it the first time. And now she has a better understanding, Val does, of, like, actually what happened to her.
Yeah. And this curse makes her pursue her happiness to an extent of killing people, or...
Yeah, but basically, the pursuit of happiness, and no matter the cost.
Yes.
Really, and... Which is it's very unique, actually. I've not actually heard that one before, like, curse-wise. Like, because you wouldn't consider it a curse, right? Like, you're like, pursue happiness and everything you want. Like, that's great. But there's also consequences to pursuing that ultimate happiness, I guess. Which, kind of like the monkey's paw, kind of like you get your greatest wish, but it's always fucked up in some way. That's kind of how I feel like this curse is. It's like, yeah, you can be happy, but
something's gonna go wrong.
Something's gonna happen because it never ends well for the person that's cursed.
Yes.
Okay. So this is where Val goes on she gets a new job. She's like within the week she has a new job, and
meanwhile Lindsay still does not have a job.
Yeah, she's like the most adult character I've ever, like, read. She's like, I can't quit. I need a fucking job. I need money. And then she's like, I quit. And I'm like, all right. So what about this money issue you said, like, 2 chapters ago?
Yeah.
Like, and that's just, like, not talked about in the rest of the book. She doesn't have a job. The rest of the book, guys, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine, I guess.
This book happened in, like, a week, though.
Yes, it was very fast-paced. You're right. But kind of Val goes on, like, I want to say it's only a couple-day trip for her to, like, somehow an accident at work, the one chick that was supposed to go on this trip can't go anymore, and then she just happened to be the one they selected to go on the trip. Kind of, like, foreshadows a little bit more of the power aspect of it. So Val has Lindsay kind of, like,
watch Patch.
I almost said dog sit, pet sit, cat sit, there you go. So she's just kind of chilling over at Val's house. I'm not really sure the reasoning why.
I think she was just, like...
wanting to be, like, closer to the friend that she had.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then it comes about, like...
She's trying to find Val's weed.
which is hilarious, because Michigan is a very, it's a legal state. You can do, marijuana. But yeah, she was like, I could really use a joint. Okay. But, since Bobby, Val was like, okay, had to hide her weed for some reason. He's very controlling or something. I'm not sure. So, she tucks it back in the back of a fucking air vent. Which, by the way, right there. See that?
There's nothing hidden in that, by the way. Because I can't read it.
That's what she says. Okay, I understand. Anyways, so she actually doesn't end up finding the weed, which I think is hilarious. She finds this fucking stone. It's like almost like a palm stone. It's really, really smooth. And then on the other side, it's engraved with
a raven and some more Latin.
I'm gonna spare you the Latin. It's
Fortuna Mala,
which means bad fortune. We're just gonna leave it at that. And Fortuna has, like, the origins in ancient Roman culture. There's, like, a goddess of fortune or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would know this more. You took the class! But it does also say it in the book, so just in case you're like, I don't know who the fuck this is.
Also, there's a goddess for everything, so just assume.
Yes, that's true. It could be one and the same goddess that has, like, a goddess of, like, 5 different things. Totally fine. Moving on. So this is kind of where she goes to Reddit for help.
Yeah. And
there was only, like, one post. And, of course, it was kind of funny. The name was, like, Anonymous, but it was, like, a play on, like, Anonymouses or something.
Anony Mouse.
Yes. So she kind of gets the 411 from this bitch, because her sister went through it.
Meanwhile, the cops are calling her, too, and she can't tell the truth.
Right.
Like, she figures out that Val has some kind of power where she can control what people say.
Yes. I didn't actually pick up on that, to be honest with you. I just thought she was being a really good friend. Not gonna fucking lie to you. So yeah, part of, like, the power... I wouldn't say it's power. More like a sub-power of this curse is persuasion. So she can persuade people to do what she wants. Does not work through phone. That's important later.
Yes.
Important later. So that's kind of where Lindsay's like, the fuck, did this bitch, like, tell me not to call the cops and persuade me not to, not just because I'm friends with her? So that kind of fucks Lindsay up. She's like, did I do this because I wanted to, or did I
do it because she told me to?
Right. Like, which, goosebumps thinking about it. It's just a scary thought. Like, you, like, trust someone, and then they kind of use that trust to, like, manipulate you, which I've not had to deal with a lot in my life, but, like, I could not deal with I could not. Like, get out. I ain't doing this shit. And that's kind of... I guess this kind of goes into the, what the curse is.
Yeah. And then Val comes back around this time.
Yes.
And she tells Lindsay about her trip and about the homeless man.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Like, so when she's on this trip, I can't remember. It's a major big city. And
it's in California.
Okay. Where homeless is it's not like a problem, but there's a lot of homeless people on the streets. So I guess this guy comes up to her, homeless guy, and is like, I need money, I'm hungry. And then she's like, nah. But he's still, like, pursuing her, which I think is strange.
Yeah.
And I think it has to do with, like, I don't know. I thought it had something to do with the curse itself, but I don't know. But he was like, yeah, he's like, and then he's like, at the last one, he's like, I need money for alcohol. And then she turns, and she's like, huh, okay, all right. No. Like, that's kind of like, I was like, why are you fucking with him like this then? Like, I did not understand that point, but she wanted to test her power. I finally got that towards the end, and I was like, oh. Yeah, oh. What a bitch. So she basically was like, kill yourself. And he fucking does it! Like, takes a fucking
bottle and yeah.
Like, cuts his throat and bleeds out, and she's like, oh, so that's the extent I can go. I'm like, that's not a normal response!
No!
Not a normal response. But I still don't understand how that made her happy. So, like, I don't think her power is tied to her happiness in general.
I mean, don't know.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's not really said or anything like that, but that's kind of how I got it. I was like, oh. So it's a power, not necessarily a power to help her pursue. Like, obviously it helps.
Yeah.
But it's not just driven by what makes her happy, unless you find it funny that he died. I don't know. It wasn't said, but... so...
And then we can go into the curse.
I wrote down the curse. Do you like my little errors and stuff? So the Redditor kind of explains to Lindsay, the whole reasoning for the curse itself. So the first incantation calls forth a bird, or birds. The second one, because you have to have a sacrifice, the second one is to make the birds drop dead. That's the sacrifice itself. Because the sacrifice is needed for this ritual. And then
you say some Latin, which...
Yeah, I was going to say, you have to say Latin. I wrote that in the wrong order. So whoever touches the bird itself is cursed at that point. There are other ways to get around the curse itself, to, like, break the curse, and that's kind of where the 2 stones come into play. So we only found the 1, but the Redditor was like, yeah, there's 2.
And she definitely has them.
And the Redditor wasn't really, since her sister, I think it's implied her sister died.
Yeah.
Because she's like, oh, how was your sister? Is sister okay? No. That's the only answer you get, no. So I think she did die, but then she said she found all this information on the dark web, which I don't even know how to get on, so cool.
Yeah,
I'm a little salty about that, but it's fine. I don't have the technical skills for that.
I don't need on there.
I'm fine. Fair enough. At least we'll know, look at it once. Anyways, so how to break the curse is you take the 2 stones and you chant the incantation backwards in Latin, which I think is hard. But I did not write down the Latin. I no. But I wrote the English version of it.
We don't write or read Latin.
So,
that's how we get cursed.
No. I mean, fair enough. Okay.
I've seen Evil Dead one too many times. You don't read Latin.
I mean, you read the title here. Anyways, no. So the phrase is every man is the artisan of his own fortune, which I thought was really unique. Now you have to say that backwards in Latin and touch the 2 stones to the cursed person.
The stones have to touch them first.
Yes. That's very... Yes. They have to touch them first, and then you cite the weird Latin backwards that I'm not even going to try. Thank you. So that's when Val meets Lindsay at the bar.
Yes.
Because she got back from her trip, and then she kind of explained what happened to the dead person, and Lindsay read all this from the Redditor right before Val showed up, and she didn't get to read the end part of what the Redditor said, which was kind of fucking important.
Also, Val was like, Patch is being a bitch again. So I was like, damn it, the cat's dead.
Yes, I was like, no. Because I think Val was kind of like jealous that Patches loved Lindsay more because it was talked about.
Val was actually trying to give Patches away to Lindsay the one time where she's like, oh, you can just keep him. He likes you better anyways.
Oh, yeah, the foreshadowing part, which she should have probably done. But yeah, she comes back. Val kind of wanted her key back to the apartment. Or I think it's an apartment. Like complex.
Yeah.
Okay. And Lynn's like, oh shit, sorry I left it at home. I'll give it to you next time we see each other. And that's when, like, Lynn's like, fuck, I gotta find this fucking other stone. I gotta find it. And so she leaves Val at the bar because Val's like, yeah, I'll drink a couple more. I'm not ready to go home yet, you know?
But that's after she goes through her purse to make sure the stone's not there.
Yes. Yes, sorry, I forgot that part. Like, she left to the restroom and came back. And then that's when you find out about the dead body, the guy in the dumpster. That she cuts off the bartender. Another fucking important plot! It's fine. So Lindsay goes back to Val's apartment and she's like, she has to have this one on her because, you know, this is the one she needs to have on her, I guess. I don't know what the difference is between the two stones, and the Redditor person didn't know either.
One was good fortune and one was bad fortune.
But she had the bad fortune one on her.
The bad fortune one was the one she found. The one in the radiator or where the...
Oh, okay.
And then the good fortune
fortune one was in her possession. Yeah. She took it with her. The Redditor kind of said that the cursed one doesn't realize or understand why the stones are important, but they are important. So they take them. Like, Val took them. And that's kind of the other reason she grabbed the... Or maybe she went back. I'm not really sure. But she has both stones. So... Lindsay, I think, puts the stone back before she leaves in the vent. So she knows where that one is. She's, like, searching through her fucking suitcase because she hasn't unpacked yet. And, she finds it. And then she, like, knows Val's coming home or something. So she's, like, hiding. And she's like, oh, I see her car. And then she, like, runs out. And then, of course, Val calls Lindsay. She's like, where the fuck is it? Where is my stones? Which I love that part, and that's the reason why her power is important. That it doesn't work over the phone, because Lindsay knows that, because she made that distinction, which I thought was pretty interesting on her part. Like, why would you give people ammunition to fucking know how to, like, go past your ways? But so they meet, you know, at their spot.
Yeah,
another different spot. Okay, I don't know how many spots you guys can have. Okay, like and. Different spot now, okay?
Not Bobby's burial.
Not Bobby's burial. That's the kicker. So, and that's what gets fucked up. This is where it, like, I don't even want to talk about it. Yeah, you can talk about it.
Okay, so they go to the park or the hiking spot or wherever it is, and she tries to break the curse with the stones.
Yes.
And it does not work. And Val has a knife. And she stabs her. And then Lindsay bashes her head in with the two stones.
She's like, I need... Like, right into the eye sockets, too. Like, and she's, like, still trying to say this incantation or whatever. It's
just not working. She's dead. Val's dead.
Val gets fucked up. Okay. And... So, Lindsay does the one thing that I think is the best move on everyone's part. She throws stones in the fucking ocean. Lake, I'm sorry.
Yes.
A lake. And so then she kind of just, like, lays beside Val and was like, man, like, what the fuck did I just do?
Yeah.
Like, and... I don't even know. Does she end up...
She ends up putting Val into the lake.
The lake as well. And then she finally reads the Redditor's last post, or last, like, reply to her thing. And then it's like, yeah, be wary. If the cursed one dies, the person that killed them...
Gets the curse.
And so... And I think she doesn't realize that until she's back home, right?
Yeah.
Well, she threw the stones in the fucking ocean. Or in the lake.
The big ass lake.
Sorry. It's a body of water. It's a fucking ocean, okay? No. So she throws them into the lake. And then she reads that and she's like, oh, fuck my life.
So now she's gonna have to try to find the stones.
Yeah, so then she's like, okay, I'm gonna go get a scuba suit. And,
yeah.
That's the book. Like I said, it was a very short read, very fast paced. Has some creepy-ish parts, especially with the dead birds and stuff. So if you don't handle dead animals very well...
There's multiple dead animals in this, because the cat dies too.
Yes. But mostly birds. And Belle's skin. With the bird tattoo.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else that we're missing that's main? I think we got it all.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what was your rating?
So, I gave this a 3 because I've read a lot of horror, and this was good, but it wasn't, like, great. It was kind of just, like, middle of the road.
Okay. Do you want me to do mine, and then you can do yours?
Yeah. Okay.
I rated it a 3 as well. This is our first book that we agree on, guys. First fucking book. I thought it'd take us longer, to be honest with you. I kind of have to agree with you. It was a good read. I felt like it was a little too short, and I kind of wanted a little bit more of their friendship before the curse, because I felt like, because Lindsay's like, I really want the old friendship. I want her back. And I'm like...
It would have had a bigger impact.
Yes, like, if you had gone into it, like, a month or two before, kind of explaining, you know, how close they were, not just reading, like, Lindsay's point of view over, like, yeah, we were close. We talked about everything. It's like, yeah, I get the emotional connection, but I kind of wanted to read a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
Before it went into, I miss my old friend. I miss her, you know, how she used to be. And I'm like, but I don't know how she used to be. So I can't miss her for you. And that's kind of what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
For the scary score, I gave it a 2. I didn't really feel like it was top of the line, like, I'm freaked out, I can't finish this. But it did have some really creepy parts into it.
Yeah, I think 2 is about where it is. We're agreeing on both.
Oh my god! Thanks. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. I'm kind of excited for that, because I was kind of waiting for this to happen. But why did you give it a 2? Kind of the same?
Yeah, kind of the same. Like, it wasn't very scary. My threshold for scary is very high, though.
Yeah. Same, so.
But it was creepy enough.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you got the possession aspect
yes,
of it.
yes. And probably for me, the scariest part would be the fucking eyes, because she talks about it throughout the entire fucking book. She's like, those eyes are, like, staring at me. And I'm like, I can't get it. I'm creeped out. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, it was a great read. It was a really short, and love supporting, like, independent authors.
Yes. There wasn't anything bad about this book.
No.
It just wasn't.
No.
It didn't blow me away. I
Yeah.
think it's because it is so short.
Yeah, that's probably true. So hopefully we see more from him. I don't think he's written anything else as of yet.
I'm not sure.
Okay. But I just thought it was really cool, you know, being so close to home, kind of being able to picture it, because I've been on the dunes and stuff like that, and I've been in Grand Rapids, and I've been onto some of the trails up there, and it is very, like, sandy, duney kind of vibes. So I thought that was really cool. I could kind of picture it better.
Yeah. It's nice when you've been to the location that
Yes!
they talked about.
Oh my god, it was so cool. So I'm like, oh, I don't even have to look up anything. I already know what this looks like. Like, I liked that, but, you know.
And that's what's good with buying indie local authors, because you get some of the locations where you've been before.
Yeah, that's true.
In the surrounding areas.
Oh, yeah, no, totally get that. But yeah, I definitely, if I saw it at a used bookstore, I'd definitely pick it up, because, like I said, it was great. I just wanted more.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You know, he's still kind of blossoming into an artist. Author, I mean, an artist. Same thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it works out. So that is a horror book based on the pursuit of happiness at any cost.
Yeah.
You had to be cursed for that first. So don't touch any dead birds or
that was
read any Latin.
It's not recommended to touch dead things.
Just a tad bit. Do you want to go over the next book we're reading?
Okay. So if you want to hand over. So the next book we're reading is Wool by Hugh Howey. This is our sci-fi pick. I already started it today. So
I have already started it. It's also a TV show based on the trilogy, I think.
Yes.
It's on Apple TV. So
I don't have Apple TV, so I probably won't be watching it, unfortunately.
I do, but I want to read the book first. So I don't know if I want to read this trilogy just yet, because it's 3 books.
Yes,
isn't it?
it's Wool. I don't know what the other ones are.
Hold, please.
If it's in here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But I think it's almost
It's not.
3 or 4 book trilogy. But sci-fi pick of the month. Yeah, pick of the month. Reading next week. Woo! Well.
And then also we're still doing Madison Kate.
Yes.
So that's 4 books.
Yes.
So be prepared.
At least read the first book, so we can tell you how it ends. No, I'm just kidding.
We're going to spoil all of them.
We're going to spoil all of them, yes. But it's a reread for both of us. So, I mean, obviously, rereadable.
Yeah.
Since this is what, your 3rd time?
No, second.
It'll be both of our second times reading it.
Yeah.
So, alright, well, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next week.
Bye.